Hello, it's Malcolm here, and in this presentation I'm just going to give you a quick look at using NetLogo, just like a simple logo program, i.e. where you can type things in and watch what the turtle does. So here's the NetLogo screen opened up, and it looks fairly complicated, but this window here is where the turtle does what it's going to do. Here is where you build an interface to help you interact with the turtle, in this case. This info here is just a way of commenting on what you've done in this particular project, and here's where you actually type all your commands if you want to. So let's go back in here. The first thing you have to do to get this thing to act like a normal logo program is to, in here, put a button onto our interface here, and I'm going to call that button the setup button. So there it is, setup. It's going to run the command, and I shall call the command setup as well. You'll see that in a minute. And I want it to work on the turtle at this stage. Oh, actually, I don't suppose it matters. It can go and stay there. Okay, so there's my setup button. The fact that that's red says I can't find the command associated with it. So I go over to the code and I type in the following code. So here it says to setup. So that's the command, and here's the end. It says clear the screen. CRT is create one turtle, have it pointing north, I guess, make its colour blue, and make pen down. PD for pen down. That means that when it moves it will actually draw something. And then reset text, just because that's a good thing to do at this stage. So if I click on check just to make sure that NetLogo likes that, it does. And so now when I go over to here, the setup is now black, and if I click on that, there's my turtle sitting in the centre of the screen facing north. And down here, if I come down to the command centre here, I can say go to turtles, change that to turtles, and I can just type in and move the turtle. For example, I can say go forward 10 units. Forward 10, enter, and there it is, it goes forward 10. Now turn right 90 degrees. Forward 10, right 90, forward 10, right 90, forward 10, and finally right 90. You can see there I've got it to draw a square. Amazing. Okay, but you can see how I can type in commands and get the turtle to do something. And so to draw a square, I had to know they all had to be the same side length, and I had to know that I had to turn right 90 degrees. So in terms of elementary children, that's a good thing to realise. Now we can automate this a little bit by writing all of these commands in one go. So let me create another button here, and let me call the button draw a square. Draw a square, and let's put in here, I'm going to call the command I'm going to get to do square. So here we go. Okay, once again that's red, so I have to come over here into the code button, and let me come over here and actually type it. So we go to square, and down here I want it to go repeat 4 times, go forward 10, right 90, and that's all we need to do, draw a square. End. Now let's just check that I've typed everything in correctly. What's happened here? It didn't work. To square. That's fine. So let's come back here and let's have a little look at this. You can't use square. I see. Up here I have to be talking to the turtle. There we go. So now I'm talking to the turtle. And so now if I go set up, back to everything, and go draw square, there it is. So that's reasonably cool. Let me just move that up there a little bit. Okay, now let's modify this a little bit. Let's get it to be able to draw different size of squares. So let's make the side length an input to square. So I can come here and go slider and put that, I might put that down here, and I shall put the name here as side length. Whoops, if I could type. Side length. Now the side length would want to have a minimum of 1. Maximum, let's go something like 15. in increments of 1 and have our standard value. I think we went 10 last time, didn't we? So have that as our standard value. So there we go. So there's our side length. And now if I come and modify my square, instead of going forward 10, I'm now going to go forward side length. Just check that it likes it. It does. So set up. There it is at side 10. Let's go down here and make it size 7. Draw it again. Down to size 5. And so on. And there you can see that it's drawing. Now let's do something a little bit more sophisticated. Let's rotate these things around. So I'm going to draw a pinwheel. So here I'm going to put another button here. Make it that I'm talking to the turtle. The command I shall call pinwheel. I can call that whatever I feel like, of course. And here I'll say draw pinwheel. And there we go. Now once again there's no command associated with that. So I have to go over here and I have to actually put it in. So to pinwheel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the square, rotate a bit, and then draw the square again and keep doing that. So I'm going to repeat, say 10 times, draw the square, and then turn 360 divided by 10, so that would be 36, turn 36. And go end. And there's my pinwheel, I think. Okay, it liked it. So now let's go set up, and now I go draw pinwheel, and there it is. Might make it a bit bigger. Let's draw a bit bigger one. Let's go, say 8. Set up, draw pinwheel. Now you can see that's very quick. If I wanted to, I could come up here and slow the speed down a bit. And so now I go draw. Oh, that's still too fast. Come down here, go slower. Okay, draw the pinwheel. And now you can actually see there's the first square. It turned 36 degrees, drew another one, and away it goes. And so you can actually watch what it does. Now that's pretty good, but we could probably do better than that. Let's make our pinwheel not turn 10 times, but turn as many times as we want. So let's go in here and let's add another slider. I'll put it about here. Let's call this the pinwheel number, and we will want it to turn at least once, I guess, maybe up to 100 times. Increment of 1 seems reasonable. Let's start off here with our default value of 10, and away we go. So there's pinwheel number. And then we better go over here and modify our code. So instead of repeating 10, what we're going to do is we're going to let angle be 360 divided by the pinwheel number. And down here we're going to turn the pinwheel number of times. So pinwheel number, and over here we now have to turn not 36 degrees but angle. So if pinwheel number was 10, this would be 36, and that would be turning 10 times. That looks good. So just check, yeah, that's cool. And so now let's go back to setup. We might even speed this up again and go draw pinwheel. There it was, exactly as we had it before. Now let's up the pinwheel number. Let's, I don't know, 25, 24. That might 25 will do. Set up, draw it again, and so on. Whip it up to 100, 70, got there, and so on. Now, of course, there's lots more things we can do in amongst all of that. We could change, instead of drawing squares, we could draw all sorts of different shaped polygons and turn them into pinwheels, and so on, and the sky's the limit. So there is NetLogo acting just like the old logo programming language from many years ago.